there! Welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, if you have not, understandable. I kind of, one could say, abandoned you guys for a little while, just a little bit, first season, first spell. But let me explain, don't shoot. Editing videos is a very time-consuming thing that I absolutely dread, and having ADHD makes it 10 million, billion, trillion, gazillion, quadrillion times worse. It is something I really don't enjoy doing and am good at, which, you know, there's some dissonance there. Having to sit in an editing chair and edit for hours and hours and hours on end just for a reaction channel, it was a little bit too much dip on my chip, just a little bit too much dip. So I had to dip. Easy with it. So add on top of that, last September, I bought myself a new sewing machine and basically realized that I immensely enjoy pretty much every single thing about sewing. It's a practice in patience, it's tactile, it requires problem solving and a lot of extensive thought, and I just really enjoyed it. And I can multitask while doing it. You will be catching me watching Dare Girls during this video. You will clock me. Basically, there's just been like a shift in my life and my priorities, and I really want this channel to be sort of like an open diary where I can document creative endeavors such as sewing and, you know, other stuff like travel, lifestyle, crafting, etc. And at the same time share this with you guys so that we can learn from each other, be in conversation, and really just encourage each other. Now, I wasn't actually planning to explain all of this in this video, because this wasn't supposed to be my first video back. But you will soon find out that I've been procrastinating my other project, which is actually going to become my next video. I literally had to stop in the middle of that so I could film this one because there was a time crunch on this one. And that brings me to why we are all here today. You saw in the title of the video, so you already know what's about to go down. I am making a near exact replica of Zara Larsson's Midnight Sun tour opening outfit.
An never-ending midnight sun.
So the outfit that she opens her tour with, I made that. One of my girlfriends was having a Zara Larsson Midnight Sun themed birthday party, and because I am overly ambitious and also obsessed with the beautiful woman that is Zara Larsson, I decided, after staring at thousands, maybe not thousands, but definitely hundreds of pictures of her on Pinterest, that I needed to make the asymmetrical, off-the-shoulder, ruffle skirt outfit in yellow. Speaking of overly ambitious, I have taken it upon myself to make this with 0 patterns. Now, mind you, I have only been sewing since the beginning of this year, with very long periods in between. This is like the 5th or 6th thing I have ever sewed in my life. Like for garment. I've sewn 1 bag. This is the 5th or 6th garment that I've ever sewn, ever. And it was the most brain-breaking, complicated thing I have ever done. Right. Like, what was she thinking? Like, and was it crispy?
Was it crispy?
No.
Right.
Okay, here's the plan. So this is Millinote. This is the website that I use to plan out everything that I was going to do for this project and my other projects. And whenever you watch the next video, you can see what I do for that one. Like I said, it was genuinely a couple of days of me staring at hundreds and hundreds of pictures of Zara Larsson from every conceivable angle until eventually I was like, yeah, I can tell that. Yeah, I think I can make that. Yeah. Like, I think I have an understanding of the structure of these pieces. It's fine. Also, I would like to say that this is a custom piece made for Zara by, I'm gonna butcher this, Alineo Studios? Alineo Studios. So the very first thing that I did, even before I made this Millinote page, is I drew in my physical sewing notebook, basically just a sketch of what I thought was going on in the outfit. And from there, I pretty much just listed what elements I thought were in the outfit. You know, like the ruffles picot elastic, the channel for the wrist tie, and I also listed them so I could better see them right here, just so I could keep track and make sure I had everything that I wanted to have for the aesthetic of the outfit. By the way, both the yellow and the purple fabrics will be linked below. Everything that I use will be linked below in the description box. And let me know if you guys want me to make a tutorial on this because I still have that fabric left. I am honestly so thankful and so lucky that I found this specific fabric in yellow. The purple fabric is from a seller called Dennis Cute Things. Actually, I'll link the purple fabric, but I did end up buying the last of that bolt. So the yellow fabric is from a website that I discovered just in finding this. It's called Nick of Time Textiles, and I'm not gonna lie, the interfacing had me suspicious at first, but I mean, the fabric came exactly when it said it was supposed to come. It was exactly what I asked for, so truly, they had me right in the nick of time. Thank you, Nick of Time Textiles. And from there, I made a sketch of every pattern piece and what I thought it might look like. And here they are resketched a little more clearly. Next, I took various body measurements and I also estimated measurements. And I used them as a baseline for the dimensions of each of the pattern pieces. I also notated how many of each pattern piece that I needed. Next came the drafting, and luckily my mom has a job where she has access to a lot of crafting materials. So I have this ginormous roll of butcher paper that I use whenever I self-draft anything. Well, I did use my own body measurements for the drafting of each piece. I did have to tweak a lot of things here and there, so I ended up with many versions of each individual piece until I got it exactly how I wanted it. Especially the yoke. I hate the yoke. I hated making the yoke. All my friends hate the yoke. Honestly, if you're in line to make the perfect skirt yoke for this project, get out of line. It's never happening. It's literally never gonna be perfect, ever. Get out of line. Luckily, the blouse was much easier to make because I did end up following the tutorial of Eddie's Online. I think my phone must have heard me talking about this over and over again or something. Like, this literally showed up a couple of days before I started sewing this project. I think it might have been the day of. So for his tutorial, there's no pattern needed. You really just need a tight-fitting shirt that you can use to trace. Although I did make the sleeve much flowier than he suggests. Okay, today I decided that I would be a good little model sewist, and I made myself a mock-up of the top. I'm surprised because it looks really good, really close to what she has, and it was actually really easy, which scares me because I used a tutorial. Shout out to, what is your name? Shout out to Eddie's Online. A couple days before I started this project, he made a video about how to make the top part of the Zara Larsson outfit. So I just followed that, except I did make quite a few modifications to the pattern making that he suggested. Like in the picture, I know that she has a channel on the wrist that she uses to gather the wrist, and I think that was super cute, and I like the little strings hanging off of it, so I added that. What else? There are quite a few things that I'm gonna modify with this. For example, I need to take in the neck shoulder part about an inch, and then just like taper that into the side because I like where it ends here. I just don't like how thick that is up here. Hers is also a little thinner. I'm gonna add way more ease into the arms. Mind you, he suggested 10 inches for like the width of the wrists. Hers is quite billowy, so I suggest that if you're gonna make this, definitely add like, honestly, 6 to 10 more inches of that. I already was at like 12 for the circumference, so I think I'm gonna add maybe 4 more inches of ease into the arm. I need to add a little waviness to these two little tendrils. I also need to connect them a little bit higher up on my side, and I'm gonna make the waviness of this bottom part of the sleeve much more pronounced. Oh, and first time doing a lettuce hem, very successful. I kind of ate that. And so yeah, I figured if I have what, like 12 yards of the yellow fabric and 3 to 4 yards of the purple fabric, and I want my outfit to, I'd rather my outfit match than not, so I'm just gonna do the real thing in yellow and do the prototype in the purple. The purple's cute. I just basted all of the seams together so nothing's finished at all. Once I do finish the real yellow version of it, I'm probably gonna come back and finish this properly because I can wear this. And I might just give it to my friend actually for her birthday as a gift. Because she's like the same size as me. Anyways, let us commence lunch break and then yellow top.
An never-ending midnight.
Okay, I am back from cutting up all my pattern pieces. Everybody pray for me about the shoulder and how it's gonna connect to the shoulder because I gave myself an inch of ease on the side of the top, but I was like, I don't really want to affect the shoulder curve, but I think I'm gonna have to add an inch anyways because I don't know how I would do it otherwise. So I added an inch of ease around the shoulder as well. But mind you, I did not add any seam allowance to the prototype top because I forgot to do that. And it was, I mean, it was pretty tight. It was a stretchy, it's a stretchy fabric, but it was really tight. And it was not uncomfortable. And so because I did that, I was doing like really small seams. So if I gave myself an inch and then I do like the normal 1.5 centimeters or 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, then it like shouldn't be that big of a deal. I redid all of the measurements just to make sure that they were correct or if I was messing them up for the shoulder. And they can, the original purple outfit and my original purple like pattern piece was 7.5 inches for this shoulder. And then I added the inch, like, I graded it an inch, and I measured it again, and it was still 7.5. And I don't know if that's how it usually happens. I don't know if that's correct or wrong, but I was never a numbers girly, so I'm just gonna trust the numbers and what they say and what they tell me, and if it comes out wrong, no it doesn't, because I meant to do that. I think it'll be fine. I think a little extra room will be fine because the other one was really tight and it was a stretchy fabric, and this one was not listed on the website as a stretch knit. It was just like listed as a knit, and I was just like, it looks stretchy, like it kind of looks stretchy, like I'm just gonna assume that it's stretchy anyways, and they just like mislabeled it. And it came and it stretches. Look at this. It stretches like almost just as much as the purple fabric that was labeled stretchy. So I think it will be fine. I think it's fine. I think we're fine. I think we're fine. I think we're so fine. It's gonna be, and it's dark now because that took me forever because I was so scared that I was doing it wrong. Anyways, we're gonna finish sewing this top because I would like to lettuce hem this because that was really fun. And yeah, I'll show you guys when it's done, I guess, if I finish it today. This is moving by so much quicker than I thought it would, thanks to that video. That's what I was trying to say earlier, is that it scares me that was so easy because the skirt, I broke my brain trying to figure out what is going on with the skirt. I still don't completely understand how I'm supposed to be attaching it, and there's no one to help me for this. I'm on my own. There's no one. So I need to start that as soon as possible. I still have like 3 weeks to do this, but I kind of only really sew on weekends because I'd be so tired when I come home from work. And when I do come home, if I do sew, it's just like, oh, I needed to unpick the seam, and then like this weekend I can finish doing what I'm doing. So I really only have 2, 4, 6 days, 5, not including her party. So So let's get this show on the road, baby. Cause I kind of don't know how to assemble a skirt. So we need to get to thinking about that. Let's continue, baby. Yeah. Wait just a second. Wait a minute, mama. Do you see that? Do you see that beautiful sunset? We're gonna take a sunset break. If you're watching this and the sun is setting, or it's about to set soon, you know what to do. Press pause, go watch the sunset, come right back to this video though. Come right back and subscribe.
Oh my
Period.
God, bro.
An never-ending midnight.
It is a new day. And let me just say, is this not the cutest? Is this not the cutest thing you have ever seen? This top right here on my body that I made. I made this. That's so crazy. If you said no, you'd be wrong. You literally cannot say that to me because you would just be wrong. And as a person that is consistently correct, yeah, in this situation, I would be right. This is the cutest thing you ever seen. I'm telling you that right now. Look at that. Look at that sleeve. This took forever. The lettuce hem, I'm not gonna lie, it's probably one of those things where I'm gonna have to come home after work and just like bite chunks off to finish the lettuce hemming on the skirt portion of the garment because like you saw my little Notion template, this skirt is going to have at least 4 layers, at most 8 layers of those meter-long spiral flounces that all have to be lettuce hemmed. All of them, every single one. I have to lettuce hem possibly over 8 meters of fabric. Mind you, I went over the edges of the sleeves and the hem of this top 4 times. Now, whenever I do the skirt, it's gonna be less than that because the issue that I was having was that I think the stitch length was just a tad bit too long for how thick I wanted this to look like. Just because I was doing it based off of the suggestions of that YouTuber. I will link his video in the description. But because I was going off of that and it took me way too long to do. So I shortened the stitch length and it made this much easier to do. Next time I'll do that and I'll probably only have to do 2 or 3 pass-throughs of each meter fabric. So somebody do the math. Somebody in the comments do the math for me. The fact that I'm going to have to lettuce hem over 8 meters of fabric and do that all 2 to 3 times each. How long do we think that's gonna take? Do you think I have enough time? Pause the video and predict if I get this done in time in the way that I want to do it. Predict if I make some shortcuts. So pause the video right now and tell me if you think I'm gonna create shortcuts for this. Because that's not really what I'm about. But this time crunch is time crunching. You understand? Anyways, so cute. Check out the Pico elastic that I added in. That's one of the modifications that I did in comparison to his videos. And I think it looks so cute because it's exactly how she has her own top. And I will say when it's not on my body, it does look a little bit wild and crazy. Just a little bit. Because it was getting away from me a little bit because I was trying to watch Dairy Girls at the same time that I was trying to sew this top. And it just wasn't, the mind was gone. It was like 1 a.m. I was gone. And this little black shoelace that I have in here is just a stand-in for the actual string that I'm gonna use to tie the sleeve. But it came out quite literally perfect. This is whenever we're gonna get into the weeds. You know what I mean? We're getting into the weeds now. This is the point of the project where I stop knowing exactly what I am going to do to try to assemble these pieces. This is the part of the project where it could maybe all fall apart, but it won't, because like I said in maybe earlier in this video or maybe my previous video, I don't remember because I'm doing them at the same time, but I told you guys I'm highly ambitious and I've never been bad at anything that I've tried, ever. I have lucky girl syndrome. I'm literally just that girl. I'm good at everything that I do. So I do have faith that I will complete this project, but this is maybe going to cause some mental breakdowns. And I will let you know if that happens. But right now, we're going to start creating the pattern pieces that should theoretically make the skirt. So let's see if it does. Everybody say thank you God that I was able to get the 12 yards of that yellow fabric, because this could get quite, I could be in a pickle. Let's see, the first thing that I think I'm gonna do, waistband, yoke, cut out the spiral flounces. I'm also probably going to construct and completely put together the shorts portion of this skirt, because it's technically a skirt, first, because I have a pair of spandex shorts that I just use as safety shorts whenever I wear like short skirts and I'm throwing some booty and I don't want anybody to see my parts, and they fit me perfectly, and I think I'm just going to copy that. So yeah, let's do that. Okay, now that I've redone the yoke 1,000 times, it's time to move on to the flounces. Okay, I was losing steam at this point, but I really wanted to have the majority, if not all, of my pattern pieces cut before turning in for the night. And I did end up cutting and cleaning the edges of 3 out of the 8 spirals. So I searched high and low to find something that could help me calculate spiral flounces to an exact. I really needed the flounces to be a specific width that was much thicker than what like the typical flounce is, because that's literally the skirt. Like that's the foundation. That is the skirt. That's the foundation of the skirt. So I found this gem of a website called Anika Design, which has a literal calculator that you can input measurements that you need, and it does it all for you. No math? No math? We all cheered. We all cheered. But I actually didn't use that function because that was confusing to me. I don't know, something about the calculator just wasn't working for me. So I just took the formula that they kind of step-by-step explained to you, and I manually calculated everything, and I drew my spiral based on the instructions that they gave me, which I will link below if you would like to use it. So the mathematical correctness matters most on the bottom layer. So I started with that to get it out of the way, since it would theoretically be the largest circle. And I did make a paper mock-up a couple of weeks prior to filming all of this, just to see if it would work, and it did. But it was pretty long, so this time around I just used less spiraling. Like, less going around. And it came out pretty much exactly how I wanted to on first try. So then I tapered and narrowed the tendrils that'll hang off a bit more, and I think it'll look great when it's able to drape properly in this fabric. For some reason, I was spiraling over whether or not I could fit 4 layers of the sheer mesh fabric in between 2 layers of that yellow jersey fabric, and it quite literally kept me awake at night. And then I realized it was literally sheer mesh fabric and it was gonna be fine. It's so thin, it'll be fine. It was fine. It worked out fine. By the end of day 2, I took it upon myself to order 10 more spools of the Gutermann 850 color thread because the top itself took 2 spools alone. And with all the lettuce hemming, I was not taking any chances. After I finished cutting and cleaning, I notched the middle of each layer as well as the middle of the yoke, and I pinned the layers together. So it's now when I started to get really excited because it was finally starting to look like something. So the next move was basting all the layers together and thinning out the tendrils. They're pretty voluminous, and I didn't want it to be too voluminous since hers is kind of flat, but it's kind of floppy in a nice way. So I planned to thin them out and stagger the length a bit. Then I planned to baste the skirt and the yoke together to make sure it fit nicely before sewing. And then it's onto the waistband. Okay, so it took the rest of the week to finish hemming all the flounces, and I kind of was blown away by the fact that I didn't need all 15 spools of thread. So actually, if you'd like me to remake the skirt, I still have more than enough fabric and more than enough thread to do it. I could definitely do a tutorial of sorts on the skirt, and or the top if you'd like me to. Not sure that I have the patience to do so, but if this video gets enough likes, let's see. Okay, as you can see, I have started on connecting the shorts to the skirt. I didn't go about this any particularly scientific way. I kind of just laid the shorts out, right side facing out, and then laid the shorts inside of the skirt. This is after I tried the shorts on and then the skirt over it and just sort of like looked at how I wanted it to fit me while it was on my body. Took it off, put the shorts inside of the skirt, and sort of pinned where I remember it falling on my body, managing to get the notches on the front and back of the yoke and skirt layers directly in the middle seam. Just so I know that it's even. Can't tell you if it's even kind of height-wise. I tried to make sure that the waistband of the skirt was matched up all the way around. I don't know, we'll see how it looks like. I think it'll be fine because you're not gonna really be able to see the shorts very much. I think I'm gonna do the waistband last. I think I'm gonna try my best to get some of the lettuce hemming on these tendrils out of the way because that's gonna take forever. But at least I have Great British Baking Show to help me through it. Okay, continuing on, I will meet you guys back when it's done, and I will show you a little bit how progress is looking, and then I will start on the tendrils. That's the plan. Okay, so I have finished attaching the shorts to the skirt. Is this not... Y'all, it's turning out. It's turning out. So, shorts are attached to the skirt. It was a little bit difficult, and I would not want any of you guys to look at what is happening under there, but you're not going to, and nobody ever will, so it does matter, but only I know, and I'm okay with it. Also, trying it on, these are actually not as voluminous as I thought they were going to be. I think they're fine. I think they look like what she's got going on. So I'm not actually going to trim any of these down. I think they're the perfect length. Actually, you can't see this, but This one is a little bit long. It kind of reaches the ground, so I will trim that one. But the rest of them don't have to be thinned out. I'm just going to... This is such a twerkable... This is such a twerkable skirt. It's so cute. Anyways, so I'm not going to do anything about this. I'm just going to hem them. Let us hem them. The next conceivable step would actually be adding the waistband, but I don't feel like doing that right now. So what I'm going to do is cut and hem the top of the shorts because I don't need them anymore. And I'm going to get to hemming the tendrils. And I think that's all I'm going to do for tonight. And maybe tomorrow I'll start on the waistband. I just know that it's gonna be some math, and I just don't want to do any math right now. I just want to watch Bake Off and let us hem. Turn my brain off. That's all. Anyways, I'll get back to you. Okay, one more thing before I get started. When I do the waistband, I definitely am going to take this 1.5 centimeter seam allowance and just like add more of it. I do want this to sit lower waisted / mid-waisted rather than like kind of high-waisted on my body. So I will be like taking that in a little bit more, and I will be hemming this a little bit shorter in the front than in the back. It should be long enough in the back to cover my booty. I like where it is. Look at that Tahitian. Okay, come on, Tahitian. Come on, that one Tahitian dance class that I took. I need to go back to that class. Anyways, it's good in the back. Gonna hem it in the front. So that's the plan. Let's get started.
And never ending.
It's time to address the elephant in the room, the waistband of it all. So yeah, that was not filmed. There was just so much trial and error, almost too much trial and error. And it was breaking my brain redoing the waistband for hours, unpicking and resewing for hours, messing with the waist of the shorts that was kind of just inside of the skirt, just like hanging, flopping around because I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know what I was doing. Which I ended up trimming to where they meet the yoke and then just stitching in the ditch to pin that fabric down. And also just staring at my machine, trying to figure out the order in which to do things. Because I'm doing this based off of vibes. Vibes alone. And I want y'all to know that I ended up making an elasticated waistband when the original plan was to do that jersey fabric waistband and then add belt loops and bedazzle those belt loops like she has in the original pictures. But I just didn't have the time, energy, or willpower to figure out belt loops, so I just made easy elasticated waistband. But then I made that waistband into a channel and I added a drawstring so that I could still have that like waist tie illusion. And if I had time at the end of all of this, and I would bedazzle that as well, just like the original pictures. I also replaced the stand-in wrist tie with the real one, which means that I am pretty much done with both the skirt and the top. That is if I still don't have time to bedazzle. I wasn't a time crunch and I wasn't gonna bedazzle this if I didn't have time. But I ended up having time. It looked so freaking cute. I cannot wait to show you guys the end product. After finishing the waistband, I immediately started working on the bra portion, and I just sort of roughly traced over a bra that sort of fit me and then freehanded it while staring at a picture of Zara's until it was in a shape that I liked. And then I added a bit of seam allowance for that picot elastic trim, and I think I'm gonna line this as well since that fabric is quite thin. Next thing I did was actually create and attach the straps. She has adjustable straps, but I didn't have time to purchase those little plastic bits that make something adjustable. So I just decided to go with classic bikini straps that I can tie myself. To be honest, I probably should have added them before sewing the bra closed. But it didn't really end up mattering because where the tips of the bra would connect to the ties, those ended up being open anyway. So I just kind of shoved them in there and then sewed that closed, which looks off. It looks crazy, but I didn't really care. And I kind of covered it with the rhinestones. And you shouldn't really see it too much on the side parts because I did cover it in the picot elastic. Okay, after sewing the trim, I'm not really sure it covered everything that I wanted it to. So it all kind of lay just like a little bit weird on my body. Like there was a little bit of gapping at the underbust, and it just was like, kind of just not really giving what it was supposed to have gave. But at that point I was just hoping that the weight of the gems would just kind of help it to lay down how I wanted it to. So then I finished bedazzling the bra, and oh my gosh, I was so excited. I almost cried. It's good, y'all. You're in for a treat. It's really good. When I sew the skirt and the yoke and add the finishing touches, it is literally going to be like I am skinwalking as Zara. Like, it is so spot on. Except the waistband, it is so spot on. This part went by in literally like 2 seconds because Zara's skirt is kind of lined with no rhyme or reason, literally no pattern to it, so I just placed based off of vibes. Everything also took way less rhinestones than I would. So between the 3 extra packs of rhinestones, the 7 spools of thread, the 6 to 7 yards of extra yellow fabric, I'm realizing that ADHD thing where you can't really visualize how long something will take also translates to not being able to visualize literally how much of any material that I'm gonna need when I'm sewing something. Pro tip, use your Snack Factory pretzel bag to keep the glue on the sleeve of the fabric from sticking to your table. Not sponsored. Mind you, I took the reveal footage of this outfit a couple days ago, which will have been like over a month from when the party was, and that party was outdoors. So if you see random makeup stains on this outfit, no you don't. During the close-ups, no you don't. No you don't see that. Look away. Look at how shiny it is.
Never ending midnight sun.
You guys, this project was hours and hours and hours and days of planning. In fact, I tried to calculate how long it took me to do this, and I tried to document how long it took me, how many hours I spent on this project, and the ADHD kicked in and I forgot to do that, so I can't even tell you really how long I spent on this. Know that it was well over 24 hours of sewing. It was definitely way more if you count the hours of time searching for the correct fabric for this. Hours and hours of brainstorming how to construct this and using math.
Ew.
So much trial and error, and honestly, I could not be more happy with the way that it turned out. It looks so freaking awesome. I am so proud of myself. This is the 5th thing I've ever sewn, and I've never done anything like this before. Very easy beginner things. This is not, I don't think that this is beginner. I wouldn't call this beginner, but definitely if I can do it, you guys can too. And in conclusion, I would have to say that I really learned a lot. Specifically, this was my first time pattern drafting anything. Guys, I literally want to wear this everywhere. It is so beautiful. I'm so angry that I don't actually have tickets to see Zara Larsson in concert because, like, what's the point? Like, what? She needs to see this. Like, this is crazy. Like, I'm so mad that I have nowhere to wear this to. Oh, my camera storage ran out and failed to record the outro of my video. It's probably for the best. As you can see, I'm quite the yapper. So I just want to say a quick thanks for watching my video. I'm really proud of myself for completing this project and video, and I'll link all my fabric materials and the tutorials I used in the description box. Please comment below and let me know if you want me to make a comprehensive tutorial of this outfit as well, and like and subscribe to see what else I cook up in my next sewing video. I'm shooting for bi-monthly uploads, and we'll see how well I can adhere to that schedule. If you made it this far, comment BOOOOTS. That's my ego boost. And okay, bye.